Hello, my loves. So, this is, it feels like it's a rather short reading that we're doing today. I haven't done like a classical, just cards read in quite some time. And we'll see how this goes. Usually I just start channeling and then at some point I remember, I wanted to pull some cards. We'll see. But what came through before I decided to come on here is a energy of indecision or a bit of a push-pull dynamic internally that seems to be somewhat unsure of how to proceed with something or how to go about a certain situation. And they are internally pulled around. It feels like, if this message is for you, that that you are pulled into different directions. And what's coming through pretty strongly is the way the logic approach would be, and what your logical mind tells you would be just the logical thing to do. It just makes sense. And then there is this other part of you that seems to have made has had the experience that sometimes life just flows better if you don't always listen to logic, but if you surrender, if you give yourself over to maybe some higher forces and trust. And the initial question that came in my mind, and this is how this sometimes works, that just like a question or a sentence pops into my head, and I feel like that there is a whole message behind that. Or that it's an energy stream that is maybe pondering that question, or just trying to find an answer for that. That what like this question was: should I act more? Should I do more? And by the way, if you hear weird sounds in the background, that's my washing machine, my dishwasher. I mean. So there's this question about should I act more? Should I do more? And it's another throat chakra related message. You just heard me coughing. This keeps coming up, and it's really, I think I've not been talking about much else on this channel for the last 2 or 3 weeks. When it comes to the expression of, I'm going to call it the more feminine side of us, which is often the not so logical side, the one that follows intuition and follows their gut. And the masculine side, of course, is the more active one, the one that, for one, follows logic. It makes a list, and there are certain action steps on that list, and then they just follow that in a maybe chronological order, because this is just what makes sense, right? And the feminine might be more of the, well, but it doesn't feel right. And I feel like that there's an inner conflict about that the feminine intuition tends to get pushed down, pushed around, maybe even. I hear belittling. Now I hear I'm okay. Let's pull some cards. I do have a feeling, I have a sense what all of this is about. And that card came out the other day in another reading. Right now I can't really remember which one, but it was, oh. Are you kidding me? This one was, I think it was in the same reading. Those are almost the same cards. Are you kidding me? I don't remember how those two reversed. Yes, this one was reversed. They're all in reverse. All right, I just turned them all upside down in the right way. But we just keep in mind that they were all reversed. So yeah, there are all those questions. There is this overthinking energy that also keeps coming up. This collective, you are heavy thinkers. So yes, like I said, there's this masculine energy that's thinking too much. But, oh no, let's put it that way. It seems like there was a certain amount of certainty that you just followed for most of your life. This is just what you were, maybe you were taught, or maybe you discovered for yourself to be true. And I hear there was a certain amount of self-efficacy, a certain willfulness. You could, I mean, the masculine energy can be very determined and very, when it sets an intention and it follows through with clear action steps, it can get pretty far. But it seems like, I mean, this can also be rigid energy. This can be less, yeah, with the blessed card in reverse, like it feels less connected to what I like to call the magic in life. Because when we just follow what makes sense, we often tend to work against what feels right in that moment, what makes us feel in the flow state that so many of us aspire to be in more. So, yeah, it seems like you've been operating out of this more logical masculine side quite a lot, and it brought you to places of success that reinforce that. That's interesting. The word ideology comes through. Maybe that's even like a bit of a, like, again, the rigidity, the masculine energy can be a little bit, I want to say arrogant in, like, I know what's true and this is what works, and this is how I do it, and I don't really look left or right, because why should I already know what's true. And like I said, this leads to a certain amount of success, especially in a world that rewards this kind of behavior and thinking. But it seems like that there's like that you are, this feeling state. This feeling state when you are in a more aligned, more flow state. But and this is where the why card comes in. You don't seem to understand, or you seem to question why you cannot stay in that blessed, floaty state, where you just feel the magic, where you feel divine love and the infinite source of love. And you know that it's in you, that it's inside of you, but it seems like that, when you come into this overthinking state, you cut off this infinite flow, and suddenly you're not able to feel it anymore. Where do we go next? Okay, they want me to take the tarot, and it's interesting because I chose a tarot deck that I hardly ever use. Not because I don't like it, but for one, it's pretty quote unquote mainstream. I mean, I do like the artwork, but there are certain aspects about it where I don't know, there are other decks that hold more, let's call it deeper wisdom or depth. But I know that this is a very popular deck, and either you hate it or you love it, I feel like. So why I'm talking about that, I do get the sense of, and there comes this maybe shadowy ego side of the masculine in again. There's a certain idea about the self, the spiritual self in particular, about specialness. I am special because I understood something that the rest of the world does not understand. I hear enlightenment, like the state of enlightenment. So there seems to be a tendency to maybe dismiss or reject more mundane things, maybe more popular things like this tarot deck, for example. And that the Fool card is like right here on the bottom of the deck, but I placed it facing up. And I mean, you could say that this girl or this woman is pretty much a perfect depiction of the more new age spirituality, like the flowy boho-like dress. She has a crystal in her hand, and she's just falling into this. And we have some sacred geometry down here, and it's this trust fall. But yeah, I mean, the whole deck, it has this new age vibe about it. And it seems to me that there is this, rejection of maybe more mainstream ideas of spirituality that are seen as less than. And I mean, if you've seen any videos of mine on my channel, there are a few where I do make a few critical points about the New Age bubble, and there are a lot of things that you can criticize about the whole movement. And I mean, what does it even mean? I mean, it's such a general term. Like, it's a huge bubble with so many different ideologies and ideas. But I noticed one thing, and I didn't even intend to go that, or like to bring this side out of the collective I'm channeling for, but it's interesting that it's coming through here now, because it wasn't, it didn't put me off, but it became apparent to me, or I just noticed it, let's put it that way, that there is a bit of a, at least from some of the people who left comments, there is a bit of a resistance against the whole New Age stuff. And like I said, I do have my fair points of criticism. Again, the coughing. Oh, okay. Whoa, this took a completely different turn now. That's really interesting. Okay, so coming back to the Y card, but in a different with a different meaning than what I said before. If you feel a strong resistance against those more new agey beliefs, you should ask yourself why. It doesn't mean that they are right or that you have misconceptions about certain things that might be off in this whole community. But whenever we feel a strong resistance against something, or we feel like we are above somebody or something else, we are better than, then there is some kind of belief system active inside of ourselves where we are dealing with the with our spiritual ego in that case. So why do you believe that you are maybe above people who are part of the more new age community? And I just paused because my dishwasher was making a certain noise where I just knew, okay, now it's about to finish, and then it's going to make some really loud beep sounds, and I didn't want to have it on the recording, so I stopped, I paused, and it felt like ages until it finally was done with making the noise. And I heard while waiting, don't wait for the noise to stop. And we had the exact same phrase in another reading coming out the other day. I will link it if I can't remember where it was. I think I will. So, yeah, but this don't wait for the noise to stop in this case refers to this whole spiritual movement that's happening right now is not going anywhere. And it will not stop. It will actually become quote unquote worse because it's gaining popularity and it's becoming more mainstream, and the more mainstream it gets, the more distorted certain ideas become, of course. But it seems like there is this thing about, what if you didn't fight it, but you looked at it with a little bit like more of a curious mind? And if you believe yourself to be a truly spiritual person, there are some guides here that are quite sarcastic. It feels like they want to challenge your ego. And so I'm just going to say what's coming through. Please don't hate me. It's like, okay, if you're really that enlightened, if you're really that spiritually evolved, how come you have such a strong resistance against this thing? Why can't you be more open, more playful, more just accepting that everything has its rightful place, and accepting that this is just part of the whole collective development that's happening. And I also hear you have to start somewhere. It's not that easy to like jump right into unity consciousness. You have to work your way up there. And there is now another noise outside. It's some kind of electric saw. And it felt to me, it started making that noise the moment I said that maybe you should be more curious or more open to just accepting it. And it was like this uproar of what's the word? I cannot seem to remember it. Yeah, it's just this feeling of how could you? How could I possibly? So yeah, there's quite some resistance around that. What now? Spirit, what now? You let me deliver those quite harsh, not easy to deliver messages here, and now I'm hanging here. Where are we going next? Okay, they're saying let's pull a few cards, and then there's a little bug again. There's so many synchronicities here with other readings I had the other day. Where you are? There you are. I don't want to I don't want to hurt you. That's interesting. There's so many synchronicities or like cross references to other readings I did. Everything is coming out in reverse here. That's just something I'm noting. So it's, like I said, there's a lot of resistance. Oh, I haven't read with that deck for so long. That feels weird. It feels really weird. It's a weird energy to tap into for me because it's so... Like, I started with it. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. I mean, I didn't start with that particular deck. I started with the classical Rider-Waite Tarot. But that was one where I... Like, this deck was one of those where I deepened my tarot practice. So maybe you've been part of that movement for a while, or you identified yourself with certain beliefs in there, and you learned for yourself that those beliefs were not entirely true, and so you rejected everything that had to do with it. It feels like, okay, I went in a wrong direction here. And yeah, the Six of Cups card, and I usually don't read this as a card of nostalgia, but right now it's jumping out to me like that, because the Six of Cups usually is referred to as a card of memories, nostalgia, or like it's the family card, childhood, where this is some part of your own biography, of your own history, your story. And it is often referred to as this very positive card. But I mean, so many of us have certain experiences in our lives where we are part of a group, maybe part of a certain movement or a friend group, or could be anything really. And we were like very much engaged in it, and then at some point there was this maybe we got hurt. It feels like there was some kind of hurt or disillusion, and this led to us this led to a reaction from us where we just completely rejected everything it had to do with that certain memory, maybe also behavior of our own, something that we are not that, oh yeah, holy cow, that took me off guard. That was like something came up from deep down and tackled my throat here. Okay, so there's some sort of shame, probably some kind of behavior that we feel embarrassed about or that we don't want to look at. So we're just rejecting everything that has to do with that particular thing. For example, it's coming through right now. Maybe you met someone and you thought that person was your twin flame, and then it all, like, you went down this whole rabbit hole, maybe had some limerence around all of that. I talked about that in another message the other day. It's I think it's it's one of my last videos, something about if you're struggling in to balance soul connections, that might be something to check out for you if that's something you've been dealing with or still dealing with. So yeah, right, there was this thing about, that's just an example, but it's speaking pretty loud right now, that there was maybe some incidents with you over spiritualized another connection maybe, and you just got burned you got hurt and maybe embarrassed in the whole process, or maybe if not openly embarrassed, then you yourself feel embarrassed just thinking about this. And so yeah, this led you into a deep hermiting phase, where you kind of closed off and just stepped away from everything and everybody. And this was there to temperance the whole thing. So this was there for a reason, and it can be a very healthy thing to do if we are in this overly limerence state, where we are maybe projecting certain beliefs or feelings or wishes or ideas on another person. But it doesn't even have to be another person. It can be anything. It can be work. It can be like any kind of situation. You can be in a limerent state with almost everything. And one thing I'm realizing right now is, now that I just started talking about that, I named that thing, and I almost choked on it, but now my words, I cannot even talk fast enough. There's so much that wants to come out now. And I'm also realizing there's a lot of tension on my left side. It really hurts. Aye. Sorry, I have to take a sip of water here. So yeah, this was okay. I hear all of that was necessary, and it seems like that this rejecting of whatever that was in your past. It can be in the recent past, but it feels like for many of you it has been quite a while. Like that wasn't something that happened yesterday, or maybe not even a few months ago. It feels more like years, actually. So there seems to be some kind of block, and you want to move forward. One more right here. Yeah, okay. So it seems like you want to move forward with something that is quite promising in a very, let's call it tangible way, like something that is more in the physical. Maybe it's love related, simply because, and this is so funny because I'm reading the cards right now in a way I would never read them. Usually I would never read them like that. Because usually I view the cards in a different way, but I guess it's the deck, and I guess it's the whole topic, the whole energy. So it's coming through that way. I'm going with it. All right. So we have the King of Cups, and so this is speaking to me about maybe this is a relationship or some love relationship, or yeah, there just seems to be something that you feel like this could be something, could become something. And it makes you feel really, really good. And you feel like this thing brings you in your King of Cups energy. Like an emotionally available, balanced, it's right beneath the Temperance card, openly receiving and giving energy. And so yeah, the way I read the King of Cups normally is an inner state of being where we are we have a cup that flows over, and we can give from that cup, but we are only able to do that because we've learned to always maintain the overflow. And we have learned what we have to do in order for this cup to be overflowing. And we learn to, like I said, to balance that. Also, the 4 is maybe not so much a balanced energy. Like we have the 2 of Cups here too. I'm getting there in a second. Which is also like the 2 is like this balancing energy, and the 2 times 2 makes 4. So that is a very grounded energy. It's a very balanced energy in a sense. It's not just spiritually balanced, but it's actually physically grounded. So yeah, there seems to be some kind of situation that you are maybe approaching, or maybe it's already in your life, and you feel like, wow, this really could be something, but there are some kind of resistances that bring you back into some kind of memory, or some kind of in contact with a part of yourself that you have left in the past, and you would like for it to stay there. But this brings us into the 2 of Cups. The thing you have here seems to be something that could be really some kind of deep connection. And yes, I know we've been talking about it. So many people read this as a twin flame card, with the rainbows and the 2 opposites, like opposites coming together, the entangled hands. Let's just say it's a beautiful connection. And this is, it could be anything else for you. So if the whole reading resonates with you and you're like, well, but this is not really the thing, like love or romance or but it seems to be there is some kind of connection. It doesn't have to be romantic, but because the King of Cups is emotions, and this, like the cups again, there is this in the 6 of Cups. There is this emotional aspect here, and you see here those, like they are hugging. You have the hand holding here. What I'm realizing right now, there is some kind of evolution when you look into the artwork. Because here within the Hermit card, she's sitting up here and she is looking in space alone. And there's not much going on in general. And she looks content, right? She's fine. But this is not a state of being where you can be in forever. There's the protest coming through again. Somebody doesn't like me saying, you cannot be in the hermit state forever. Let's put it that way. If you are still in the hermit phase and you feel like, no, this is where I am supposed to be right now, then this is probably not your message. But this is for somebody who actually knows that it's time to maybe take a step out of their hermit phase. And this ties in with another message I recorded just last night. which will be the last one I posted. I posted this morning as of recording this. So, yeah, she is sitting here and looking that way. And when you look at the King of Cups here, he is more openly faced to us, like the person looking at the card, me connecting with that card. And he is, yes, the eyes are closed, but that means he's feeling like he's connected with himself. He is checking in with his internal state of being. How am I feeling? And it's a very open heart space. And you also have the light here, but it's not as centered, and it's not as... It has more mystical touch to it. And it's a little bit irregular. Like, here it's shining brighter, here it's not that bright. So there's still this figuring out energy. But here, this energy is clear. And now I'm drawn to this sailboat. It's setting sails and it's sailing into the future, to the right side. So it's sailing into the future. This is an energy that is deeply connected within self, but also open to connecting with whoever is here, wanting to connect with them. And she is also has her eyes closed, but it's a very different energy. She is facing him. She's actually, it feels like she's communicating with her inside. She's communicating with him with her eyes closed, yes, but in a very intuitive way. She's feeling into what's going on over there. And she is following the wind. You see how her hair is moved by the wind? And she's turning her head in that direction. The wind is carrying her in a certain direction and she's following that. And what I also see is like you could say, and it's switched, so it's bringing me back again to this whole twin flame stuff. I just cannot escape it. It keeps coming up. I'll pull the cards up a little bit so that you can see them better. I think it's not completely in the picture. So here the feminine has a brown skin tone, darker skin tone, and here has a lighter one. And here it's switched. The feminine, more feminine hand has a light skin tone, and here it's a darker skin tone. So this is kind of speaking to me about the yin and yang aspect and how everything is the opposite, but then it's not. And then it's, at its core, it's the opposite again. Like the yin and yang symbol where you have the black space with the white dot in it, and the white space with the black dot in it. And talking about yin and yang here, I'm drawn back to the yang card. So now I'm brought back to the initial question. I said, should I act more? Should I move more? And now it's like this turning on me, and there's a question coming through. Should I stay or should I go? I hear the song in my head. Oh, dear. You are working through some serious throat chakra stuff here. yeah, should I stay or should I go? I think you know the answer in your heart. You know it. You know it. The only thing that is holding you back from really committing to what you truly desire, what your heart actually is telling you, is this Six of Cups energy in its more shadowy aspect. That, yeah, you feel you got burned, you got hurt. Maybe there was this, I don't know, some kind of soul connection in your life where that really hurt you, and now you've encountered something or someone in your life where you feel like this feels aligned, but it's bringing up all those memories, and of course all the stuff you haven't dealt with. So now, seriously, I thought that this was going to be a quick, short message, like maybe 15-20 minutes tops. And here I am again. This is just not happening for me. And speaking of all those weird synchronicities that kind of seem to tie in several readings that I've done before on my channel, and all those, like the cards that are showing up, then the little bug that crawled over here, this showed up in another reading the other day. And they also, again, brought me to gummy bears again. I bought those the other day because I like gummy bears, and because I felt like, I feel like they could come in handy at some point. And so now they want me to draw. Ooh. Okay, this one fell out. What is it? It's a carrot. And it's speaking to me about the here, the yang energy, this orange of the in the yang card and of the carrot. Ooh, okay. I hear something about, is this just another carrot that is dangling in front of my nose in order to bring me through painful lessons? But in the end, I just get hurt again. And now I see that she also has orange in her headdress here. So there's something related to the sacral chakra. Yeah, it's the feminine. It's a very feminine center. Also our creative center. Oh, okay. So they're saying, well, it kind of is a carrot that is dangling in front of your nose, yes, but it's not there to hurt you. It's there to bring you into a deeper contact with what your deepest desires are. And there seems to be something about creation. Maybe you want to create something, maybe you want to be more creative, maybe you're holding back in certain aspects in your life where you are just in this, again here, blessed flow state, overthinking stuff. That, yeah, where you need this free-flowing, open sacral chakra. And so this new or old connection, I mean, it could be an old connection that came in, but maybe in a new form, no new energy, um, this this has a certain purpose, and you might be putting certain expectations on it, or you're trying not to, but at the same time you see that they are coming up, and there's like all this fear around, okay, if I let go, if I let loose, then I will get hurt again because it will not work out in the end. And what I'm getting here is that maybe this whole thing is not only about what your expectations are. They're not saying that it's not. They're not saying that this cannot also be part of the whole thing if this is what you wish for. But that maybe it's even more so, it's there in order to help you grow and to come into alignment with what your true purpose is, with whatever it is you want to create. But something that you don't see is that this Six of Cups energy, what is blocking you, some kind of old hurt or fear, is actually also holding you back from doing the thing you want to do. Okay, others do this with stones. I'm doing this with gummy bears. Yeah, okay, I see this fun, colorful gummy bear thingy here, with all the little sugar pearls landing on the Six of Cups card. So this is speaking to me about, like as a kid, I would have loved that. It would have been so fun. So there's this, what the quote unquote true meaning, or what many perceive as the true meaning of the Six of Cups energy, is actually this playfulness, this child. It's a childhood card, and there you see like this little child with the puppy, and they've grown into the dog and the adult. Come on, don't be so cynical. No, I heard, yeah, right, the puppy would be long dead now. When this man, he's like, I don't know, maybe around in his late 40s, around 50. This is probably like the third dog that he had in the meantime. You are a cynical bunch. Yeah, so this is a reminder for here the grown-up man that what did that little boy like to do? What was his passions? What brought him joy? Did he like colorful, fun stuff? I don't know, there's something about the carrot, the sugar that's standing out to me right now. Maybe you're quite rigid in your bodily health regime, maybe about like how you eat, what you eat. I just heard have some fun, allow yourself some fun. Like the occasional gummy bear won't kill you. I can attest to that. So what else? What else do we have here? Yeah, we have this Easter egg with a little bow on it that perfectly matches her dress. This is speaking to me about the root chakra. Also with the flower down here, also in this red, although I feel like this belongs over here. Yeah, this is bringing me back to this more love energy. So, okay, this is not to say that this is not about love, but there seem to be, again, like some fear still in the root chakra about how this might be. Yeah, just those residual energies, those fears of what if I again hope for maybe this beautiful love that I want, but I will get hurt again. So there's this thing about, well, but you're not the same person anymore. You've grown. You've been in here. You know what you've learned in this hermit state, and now it's time to. Okay, you integrated a lot, but it's time to now ground in what you've learned. Okay, so here I see this bunny that fell flat on its face. And there's something about don't be afraid to fall again. There's something about a kid that when it falls off its bike, it has to get up again and it has to try again. Because, yeah, sometimes you fall and then you scratch a knee. Sometimes maybe you even break a bone. But you don't want to... Yeah, you don't want to lose out on the fun of riding a bike simply because you might fall. And here again, the Easter egg with the bow on it and the green color. So this is speaking to me about the heart center, heart energy, but also about spring, also about like this new possibility, like the eggs. Of course, I mean, it's an Easter collection, gummy bear collection. It's Easter themed, so of course we have all the eggs here, but yeah, it's just like the spring-like energy, this the possibilities, the new potential. And with the yellow here and the potential and on the blessed card, that's interesting because yellow for me is related to the solar plexus. And this brings in the beautiful balance. When you say, okay, the blessed card is maybe more synonymous for the feminine energy here, for this flow state, when we learn to direct it with a healed, out of a healed solar plexus energy, not the rigid controlling one that I have to force my will, but okay, I can direct my will in order to achieve or attain what I wish for myself, and that might be to be in this flow state, in this feeling of blessings and of being in connection with universal love and flow. And there is a last one, and that's the bunny that's falling from the sky here. And I'm trying to figure out what it's trying to say here. Flying rabbits, flying bunnies, red bunnies. There's something about if you keep your hands open, you might catch a little love bunny. Wow. Okay. What the hell? This is so untypical reading for me. If you come across this, and like I usually don't do love readings. I mean, if they come out, okay, but I think that's the first love reading I've ever done. I mean, okay, it's not the typical love reading. But yeah, maybe I should say, okay, if you stay, this is what you get. Some weird stuff with gummy bears, and I don't know, we crossed a few oceans here today. Yeah, so but back to holding up your hands. there's something so unexpected about this, and now I feel like Spirit is just toying with me. It feels like you opened your hand. Maybe you tried to manifest something. Maybe you were calling something in. And then there's this carrot that you don't see behind you. And it's attracting in a bunny, and it's falling down from the skies, and it's landing directly in your hand. Feed the bunny, I hear. Give the carrots to the bunny, or it will hop away again. What the? Really? Okay, now sometimes Spirit is so funny. I just see like this whole guides collective right now, and they're having a lot of fun here. I feel like they like gummy bears too. All right, my loves, that's another extensive reading for you. I would love to hear from you in the comments. If this resonates, what's your takeaway from that? And let me just say one thing. I really, really love how they came from this overthinking, unsure energy into this colorful, fun, easygoing, flowy, beautiful love message. So if that is not speaking to what Spirit is trying to show you here, I don't know what can. So there is something beautiful waiting for you if you let it, if you open your hands and let the bunnies fall into your palms. All right, my loves, that's it for today. I love you so much. Thanks for being here. Thanks for co-creating and holding the space here. You bring me so much joy, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you in the next one. Until then, take care.